Hi guys, in today's video we almost got it correct. I'd say about our logic was correct, but a little bit error in the implementation part, and then later I learned a new way to count the frequencies within an array. Let's start another day. LeetCode. Let's see, is it a string problem again? Check if strings can be made equal with operations. The second part of that. You're given two strings, both of length 10, consisting of lowercase letters. You can apply the following operations where the difference is even and then swap. So earlier the difference was 2. What are the constraints? String dot length. So you are given two strings, both of same length, consisting. So this time we and length is given. So today I'm gonna try not to use like help right away. Let me start a timer. Siri. Hey Siri. Okay, I guess when you're recording it doesn't speech doesn't work. Timer clock. Second. Start timer. Let me set it to 30 or 45 minutes. 30 minutes. We'll brainstorm for 30 minutes and see where we can go. Okay, timer is started. It's right up here. Okay, you can apply the following operations on any of the two strings. So we are given two strings, both of length n, and we have to choose two indices such that the difference is even. So like we are given the difference between indices should be even. Okay, so if length is a number of operations would be n by 2, right? Because since we're taking even on considering even only, even equals to number of operations n by 2. Okay, and choose any two indices and swap the two characters, return true. So what do? Each operation we swap the characters and see if the strings are equal. Okay, so each operations the string are equal. So let's say we have a string a b c d, and this can only apply the following operations. So the result is c d a d b a. So I'm thinking, so you can only choose two indices such that difference is even. The difference is even, so if I go 1 2 0 2, or I can even go 1 3. So should we keep return true if we can make the strings equal and false? Otherwise we are given two strings. So here, for example, the first would be swapping the first and the second letter, and we get this, which is still not equal, and then we swap. So should we compare after each swap? So let's say if I swap once, I see if so we swap the s1, so we check, okay, c is there, so we move on to, then for each swap. So I'm thinking start with each in each swap we keep a pointer that tells us so far if the suffix or prefix matches, right? So if the number of character, if n is even, so let's say if n was 4, so what are the operations? How many characters? 1 2 3 6, right? 1 2 3 4 5 6. So n is 6. How many times we can check, or do we go through the whole length? Let I equals to 0. I must be okay. Let's try to do it that way. So what I'm basically doing right now is we get the length of the string, we keep one pointer at the start, one pointer will point at the second index, and then one pointer we will move, also leave at the start, but after swapping, if the values match, like if the initial matches, we move I to that pointer, and if it doesn't match, then what do we do? So if that doesn't match, we should reset it to the start. But thing is, the difference is even. So the difference is even, not like gap should be 1. So if we start at 0, if we start at 0 and 2, so we have C and C matches the C. So we leave this, then we move the I. But let's say if C didn't match, we would leave I as is. We would move J. So we need to keep the difference even, right? So to keep the difference even, okay, so let me integer n equals to s1 dot length. Okay. So and so difference would be even when both of them are even, right? Or both of them are odd. 7 minus 1 is 6 odd. Okay, so let me have first loop for integer I equals to 0. I must be less than the length number of characters in the string, and I plus plus. Okay, so and the second index is for integer j equals to I plus 2, and j must be less than n, and I plus plus. Okay, so if n was 6, so n 0 and 1, so 0 1. Okay, is that the second loop, is that correct? We don't want to go out of bounds, so j must be less than. You're okay, just do. What if the base case is if it's already matching? What if it's already matching? Let me start at that, but I want j to finish if at n minus 2. Oh, sorry. I should finish at n minus 1 if I have this 1 2 3 4 5 6, if j is 6 and I is 5. And okay, so if there was 1 2 3 4 5 6, Okay, so we have I is 0, I must be less than, if n number of characters are 6, I should never be equal to 5, so it should be n minus 2, right? So the last swap should actually occur between 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, and 6. Okay, so now what do we need here? Here we need the difference to be even. Choose the I is okay. It's also given that I and j should be less. And the difference is even, and swap the two characters at those indexing. If it matches, then okay, so difference to be even, so integer difference if if j minus I, if j minus I, okay, oh, if j minus I, and do we mod it? Modulus 2 equal to 0, then we do something else, continue, we move on to the next loop, right? So what do we want? If the result is even, now here we swap the values, swap character, and see if that matches. If it doesn't match, we move j to the next possible value, and let me have a boolean value, boolean result equals to, let me initialize it to false initially. And how do we check the characters? Do we build? How do we check? Because I haven't, do we build the string? Or do we save the characters? Okay, how do we? Because other day, yeah, the one we did yesterday, we only had 2 cases, right? Because there was only a length of 4, but here the length could be anything. Length could be anything between 1 to 10, 100,000. And this one, and they only consist of lowercase letters. So if we swap, so if we get, let's say somehow we get the characters at both the index for one of them, do we, what do we do? If somehow I get a, somehow I have both the characters, if I plug out A and C, if I somehow get the characters, and if I swap them, so do I build a string? Feel like we should build a string. Build a new string and the characters, but string is a within string an object should be immutable. Can I have a mutable string using string buffer? So maybe we use string buffer and we, so let's see the hint. Characters can only be saved if and only if the two positions have the same parity. If the two positions have the same, to be able to make two of the characters at string should be same at even and odd positions. So do we get all the characters at even positions and all the characters at odd positions? So either this, to be able to make two strings equal, the characters at even and odd position in the string should be same. Okay, so for the minimum is considering this hint, where does this end? Right here, right? So this hint says, so characters at odd and even should be same. So maybe we have a character array odd and even for both strings sorted and compare. Okay, let's try that. Integer n is equal to string to s1 dot length. We have a character array called odd index. Go to new character array of size. What would the size for odd index be? If I have a string of 5, so number of odd index is 0, string of size 5, so that's like 0 to 4, right? So 5 0 is even, odd 2 is equal to character 5 model 5 divided by 2 equals to n divided by 2 and char array even index. I think this here I might be doing it wrong, but let's think about it. The number of characters in a string for odd and even. Excalibur. Okay, let's consider this example here. Let's say we have this string here, A, B, C, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, n is 8. Where's my this? Number of characters equals to 8, so odd should be equals to, if I divide it by 2, 4, even should also be equal to 4, right? So 0, 1, 3, 5, 7. So these are odd, but let's say if n was 7. Okay. If n was 7, if I had A, S, D, F, G, Q, W, so that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 characters, right? N was 7, 2 3s are 6, so number of odd should be 3, and even should be equals to number of odd. So what do I have? I have 0, 2, 4, and 6. So if n is even, then the number of characters are same, but if n is odd, number of characters in even is 1 greater than 0. So n plus n modulus n. feel like there should be a better way, but for now I'm just gonna hard code it. If n modulus 2 equal to 0, and let me have integer n2 equals to initialize it with 0. Then it's an even number, and then is not equal to if the number of characters are not equal to modulus 2, then n2 equals to n divided by 2. No, this is the right way. What's the formula for getting number of odd and even number? Somehow need to get number of odd possible positions if n is equal to 7. Number of even should be n plus 1 divided by 2. Let me ask for help on this matter. So if I am given a string and I want to have a separate array of odd and even chars at the index positions, how do I initialize array size without for odd and even, since n can be, since string length can be odd or even, string is in length. Okay. To odd index, even index should be n plus 1 divided by 2. Okay. So we have to, I think this is the right way now. So I'll remove all this. Okay. So now what do? We loop through either of the string. We loop through the strings, both the strings, and we keep adding the positions. Okay, so odd index. Do I have 4 different, since I have to compare both the strings, right? Odd index equals to, we have 4 different s2 this way. So now I have 4 divided I equals to 0, I must be less than n, and I plus plus. So if I is even, that means if I modulus 2 to 0, what do? I want to add. So each even index of s1 bracket I equals to s1 bracket whatever value s1 dot char at bracket I, right? So if for the first index that an even index s2 bracket equals to s2 dot char at bracket I, else we do c bracket I equals to s1 dot char at bracket I do c s2. Okay, so for loop is done, and then what do we do? Arrays dot sort odd index s1 odd index s2. Oh, even index s1 and even index s2. Return. So for arrays, return arrays dot equals if even index s1 equals if this equals to even index s2 and odd index s1 equals to odd index s2. Right, let's see. Where am I wrong? I miss even. What else is wrong? Even index s2. Cannot find the simple even index. Even EVENINDEX. Oh, S is capital. S1 S2 S1 S2. Should have named it a little better, I think. Array dot equals. Okay, let me see what have I done wrong. Return variable array. What does this mean? Okay, let's ask. This is what I thought ended. wrong indexing and filling. You're doing index, but I goes up to separate pointers. Okay, let me. So we were on the right track, but we made errors. Let's see, window. Okay, what errors did we make? Okay, we have the string character array even one, new character, odd index s1, and by 2 that's correct. Odd index s2, that is correct. For integer I equals to 0. So what do we have here is for integer I must be less than n I plus plus if we do even index, even to oh okay, so yeah, we have to keep track of the even index. Oh, I get it now. Integer even equals to 0 and odd equals to 0. Okay. Bracket. And what is this? Do e plus plus. So we go at the next even and we take on here. Odd plus plus. Even and odd. But plus arrays dot sort, arrays dot equals. So we were doing this wrong. So we have to return arrays dot equals, and we compare two arrays. Compare even index s1 comma even index s2 and arrays dot equals even index odd index s1 comma index s2. Let's try to run this now. Oh, sweet. Let's see. Let me close ChatGPT. We did it, but it's not the most optimal. Let's see how the guy did it. Yes, I could have done it this way because number of alphabets are 26. So what's happening here is the guy is doing, so he is odd even for I equals to 0, I must be get. So what's happening? Even print I in even if I is not equal to can x. Let's ask ChatGPT what's happening here. So oh, I guess so he is this is saving count characters from S1. So S1 dot char at something minus something plus explain this. S1 dot char at I gives us the character, okay, and A as a number is 97. Yes, S1 dot char at I minus A. Oh, I see, okay. Oh, I see, understand. Now I got it. Well, we learned a new method to solve this. To how do I build a frequency array for each indices, and here we're building for even S1 and this frequency for I in even if for I in even for each index in even if I is not equal to 0. Each index in even for each value in even is int array if I. Okay, so after building, because we are also subtracting, and if not everything is not equal to 0, return false. Okay, well, definitely learned something new. I'm gonna wrap the video up now. I'll see you guys tomorrow with another. Hopefully we solve that again.